Evening. I'm out again. Right. Whew. Well, today, where do I start? Woke up this morning feeling not that much better than yesterday, to be honest with you. Still feeling a bit crap. But I dragged myself out of bed and got on with it. I'm reading a book at the moment. Called The Power of Now, that Lou sent me. So I do it every morning. I pick my book up and start reading that. And I read a little bit of that. And I think it's turned out to be quite a good book, actually. But anyway, I read a chapter of that. And it did kind of help reset me. So yeah, the rest of the day's not been that bad, really. So I kind of I wanted to get out again and do stuff. Best laid plans of man and mice and all that. But so I was like, but I thought, well, it's not rained. I need to cut the grass. Because if I don't cut the grass now, I won't have another opportunity, and then it'll just get really overgrown through winter. So I thought, right, okay, that's one of the things that I want to do. So, and I've been meaning to do it for a while, so I was like, right, let's get the grass cut. Anyway, by the time I'd sorted myself out and cut the grass, then I had to nip to the supermarket. Anyway, by the time I got back, I was like, kind of knackered here. So, it is Remembrance Day as well. Which, for a member of the forces, I should really go and, go to a remembrance service. You're encouraged to kind of stick your uniform on and go to a remembrance service. But I don't live in a military town, and there's a problem with that. You see, if I went to like a military town, I'd be alright, but in the town that I'm in at the moment, if I go to a remembrance service, I am likely the most senior person there by a good margin. And that means, and it normally wouldn't bother me because I'm not a particularly shy person, but that normally consists of being pushed right to the front of the parade, being the first person to lay a wreath and all that kind of stuff. And I'm not in that frame of mind, if that makes sense. I've done it for 25 years. I think I've earned a day off. So a little bit guilty I didn't do that. But like I say, I think I've earned the right for once. I'll do it next year. But for once I decided not to do that, so I'll give myself a bit of a break from that. And just ended up not doing very much, really, just reading a book. I went to the supermarket, like I said, that was my other little challenge. Went to the supermarket, of course, because I needed a few bits and bats. I did a shop the other day. Come on! I did a shop the other day. Thought I got everything, and of course you never do you? So there was about 3 or 4 items, and I thought, right, well, I need to get them because it's breakfast items for tomorrow, so I can make breakfast for the kids. So I went out. Charlotte needs some new tights, right? Not a problem, because she's got a hole in them. They're like woolly tights, that she wears for school. Not a problem, I can do that. This is where you realise that, these are the things that Jenny did. So I went in and I'm like, well, what tights do I buy? Found them, didn't have them in her size. Spent about 3/4 of an hour in bloody Sainsbury's trying to find these tights and get them ordered and get them online. I had to go and, I hate asking people for advice. It's kind of a failure, isn't it? But anyway, I had to go and ask this lady for advice. I was like, right, I can't find these online. I've just stood there for like 20 minutes in the middle of Sainsbury's next to some tights, searching for tights online, and they're not on your website. So anyway, she had to run off and go and find them anyway. We sorted it in the end. So I've ordered some tights. I don't actually know whether I've ordered the right stuff, but challenges. It sounds so small and so petty, but you sit there or you stand there trying to order some fucking tights, and you just realise, you know, this would have been a 3-minute job for Jen. She would have known instinctively what to get. You know, everybody has their own swim lane, don't they? Everybody has their own, you know, I sorted out the bills, I paid the bills, I made sure they were all done on time. Like Jen always said, Christ, don't ever leave that to me. But equally, she had her swim lane, which was just effortlessly sort out the kids. Yeah. But I suppose that's me learning. But you know, I kind of get there in the end. It just takes me a bit longer. Come on, Lacey. So yeah, feel better today. But it was a conscious decision to feel better. And as I read that chapter in the book, it was a conscious decision to live in the now. Because it made a very fair point that Lacey. Oh, this dog pisses me off. Maggie sits next to me like some kind of shadow. Lacey just fucking mooches off. And I did it the other day and I thought, right, I wonder how far I can get before. So we were in a field and I walked around this field and then I walked off the field. She was mooching off somewhere and I could just see the field from where I was. And so I stopped. And she realised that I'd gone and just ran up and down this bloody field for like half an hour. And eventually I had to go and get her back. She's an absolute pain in the ass. Maggie, go and get her. See, now it's pissing it down, so I've come under shelter. And now I'm going to have to go back out because the fucking dog... Lacey! Fucking hell. Lacey! Lacey! I'm getting piss wet through. Lacey! Come on, you stupid animal. And then Maggie just runs straight into her and body slams her. Come on, stop running off, you pain in the ass. What was I up to? Was I saying about the book? Book's good. Book's good. I've not finished it yet, but it's apparently, you know, a pretty epic book. Oprah Winfrey read it. Called The Power of Now. And he makes a fair point that emotions are generally, particularly grief. It doesn't mention grief, but it talks about emotions are all ensnared in the past and future. Like any type of emotion is linked to something in the future, you know, dread, anxiety, you know, grief. They're all linked to something either in the future or in the past. And it says make a conscious decision not to give it space and live in the now. And it's actually a good point, because as soon as you do that, where's she gone now? As soon as you do that, come on. Right, come on. As soon as you do that, it kind of takes its power away. Come on. Come on.
I don't mean on the verb like you don't.
So, we just walk on a bit. Come on, Lise. Two teenagers having a domestic. Obviously trying to shout at each other. Come on, Lace. See, she's fucked off again. Just gonna have to put her on like a massive long lead. Said wait for her, but it is absolutely carting it down now. Lacey! I sound like an absolute nutter just shouting after a dog. Anyway, see, Maggie's right next to me. See, she just kind of hangs around with me. Don't you, Mads? Looking for her. Going, where the hell is she? Come on! I get them absolutely charge after each other. And then Maggie will come running back because she's realised she's gone too far from me. But Lacey won't, she just carries on. Yeah, it's a fair point actually, I think, that, you know, because it is, that's what grief is. It's constant looking back to the past and realise, you know, just constant harping back to the past. Like yesterday was a classic example of that. It was a mixture of, you know, in the past we used to do this, in the future I can't do this. It's all past and future. So if you occupy, this is why when you occupy yourself, when you keep busy, you're in the here and now and it's not too bad. It kind of makes sense, doesn't it? Anyway, so I read that book and it made me feel a little bit better. Made me kind of, you know, compartmentalise things, I think is probably the term. But yeah, so, and then we're back into the week, aren't we? I mean, the week, you just, you know, I'm always in the here and now in the week because I've got stuff to do. But the other thing I realised today and yesterday while I was sat there thinking, right, we'll go out and do stuff, is, and this is why I need to move away from this place, because one, too many memories, but two, everything that we could do, we've already done. So all the places we can visit, we've already visited. So I can't visit them again because it's just a bit too painful at the moment. Come on! So it's just a bit too painful. So it's like, I kind of sat there today and went, right, okay, well, and I came up with about 10 things that we could do. All the things that we've already done with Jenny. So going there would just be heart-wrenching. So this is why I need to move. I need to go to somewhere where there's new adventures that I can go. You know, new places that we can visit that I've not visited before. And make new memories, different memories. And I realise that the longer we're here, you know, I'm just hamstrung. I'm living in a shrine to Jenny. I drive around streets that we always used to drive around. Everything we do, every place we visit is just stuff that we used to do. Lacey, come on! I've just seen her run past. Lacey! Oh, there she is. Look at him. Absolute necklace. And all Maggie wants to do is just chase after him, body slammer. Yeah. So this is why I need to get... Jesus Christ, it's absolutely carting it down now. Absolutely pissing it down. I'm just going to let it ease off a bit. Oi! But yeah, this is why I just need to get out of this place. So we're all kind of set. I've sold mine. I've got a new place. I just need them to find another place to move to so I can move into that house. Still dreading Christmas. Anyway, I'm going to make a dash and get back for it, put my hood up and get back and make dinner. Right. Speak to you tomorrow. Bye.